very careful.
Tell the youth them for be strong. You can't tell the youth them for preach wrong. While you try it on these lands, just remember every man is equal. Yeah. Each one teach one, and our Father God, him are the only done. So make we ease and reason, smoke trees, span the ends, all the deep meds. Take a look at life, and don't close your eyes. Sometimes things happen, and it's no surprise. And I just, so it go, so it go, so it go, so it go. It's the government, no have no heart, them no care about poor people. Yeah, bigger heads no love people again. Them more than little of them. We see friends now reason again. Vex through whistle a blame. More time it hurt me if you see how the face. Deal with the eagle of them. Regular me see it a pain. Regular me see it a pain. Take a look at life and don't close your eyes. Sometimes things happen and it's no surprise. And I just, so it go, so it go, so it go, so it go. It's the government, no have no heart, them no care about poor people. Social commentary. Drop the one, your principle, you don't know. The global will come and do it. Some people life every day, it's stress. The high price from JPS, that topic is currently. Jah alone, him a go help you. We need food, cause we no healthy. We are feel the pain, beg you protect we. In our life, we have no fanfare. Take a look at life, and don't close your eyes. Sometimes things happen, and it's no surprise. And I just, so it go, so it go, so it go, so it go. It's the government, no have no heart, them no care about poor people.
Very carefully.
It's all about life in the street. People are suffer, try survive in the heat. Bad mind them up to one, hygiene a tweet. That's why enough of them get rifle a beat. Everybody want big ups and want to drive in a jeep. Every day I'm at the ball when she bike in a read. Not even 5 days, we can't find for the week. Me no see no changes, the same cycle repeat. Give thanks cause life it's a sweet. But keep an eye open every time you go sleep. Cause mankind jealous and them idle go live. Them never yet plant and not try figure it. Bigger heads where you fight for the sake. Now care about the future nor the child where you creep. Them a pray the fat Kyle we submit. The system will slide where you fit.
Inna the streets so we born and grow. Only Jah know and nobody know.
When we talk about ghetto life, ghetto life. Talk about ghetto life, ghetto life.
Everybody a priest say them want it though. That's why them a speed and they can't go.
Cause this a real ghetto life, ghetto life. This a real ghetto life, ghetto life. Yeah. Everybody just a pre-success. When me looking at the street, you me see enough stress. Them all a fight people who reach up next. Everybody want floss and a beat up chest. Juvenile in a them teen love sex. Them a breed the fast money, them no need subjects. And if you're unfortunate, please don't vex. Also the things said cause the streets don't rest.
In the streets so we born and grow. Only Jah know and nobody know.
When we talk about ghetto life, ghetto life. Talk about ghetto life, ghetto life.
Everybody a priest say them want it though. That's why them a speed and they pan the go.
Cause this a real ghetto life, ghetto life. This a real ghetto life, ghetto life. Yeah. It's all about life in the street. People are suffer, try survive in the heat. Bad mind them up to one, hygiene a tweet. That's why enough of them get rifle a beat. Everybody want big ups and want to drive in a jeep. Every day I'm at the ball when she bike in a read. Not even 5 wheels, we can't find for the week. Me no see no changes, the same cycle repeat. Give thanks cause life it's a sweet, but keep a eye open every time you go sleep. Cause mankind jealous and them idle go late. Them never yet plant and not try figure rape. Bigger heads where you fight for the seed. Now care about the future nor the child when you creep. Them a pray the fat Kyle was on it. The system will slide where you fit.
In the streets where we born and grow, only Jah know and nobody know.
When we talk about ghetto life, talk about ghetto life.
Everybody a priest say them want the dough. That's why them a speed and they on the go.
Cause this a real ghetto life. This a real ghetto life. Yeah.
Very carefully.
It's all about life in the street. People are suffer, try survive in the heat. But bad mind them out to one hygiene a do it. That's why enough of them, rifle a beat. Everybody want big ups and want to drive in a jeep. Every day I'm at the ball when she bike in a read. Not even 5 days, you can't find for the week. Me no see no changes, the same cycle repeat. Give thanks cause life it's a sweet, but keep an eye open every time you go sleep.
French fries come
Tomatoes come from America.
Hold on. Okay, but it doesn't matter where the food is. We're talking about the custom.
Okay. Do you eat sweet potato pie?
Yeah.
Does anybody in your family cook sweet potato pie?
Sure.
Like your grandmother, your mama?
Sure.
Yeah? Okay. Did you know sweet potato pie is indigenous to America?
Sure it is. I'm sure I do. We do eat food.
Okay. So now, if your food that you eat is indigenous to this land, wouldn't that make you indigenous?
No.
No?
No.
Somehow, some way you came here.
So if I travel,
but now, all right, if you came here, think about this. If somebody brought
hang on, Derek. If you're gonna ask him a question, let him respond.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm just saying, just because my aunt, like for instance, for me, yes, my family, we've been here for, it could be anywhere from 400 to 250 plus years, right? Because Africans were brought here throughout the middle of the 1800s. Everybody's ancestors weren't brought here 400 or 500 years ago. The transatlantic slave trade stopped sometimes
in
1808 and even longer because of the legal transporting and the intercontinental slave trade from the Caribbean also here. Correct. So none of us know exactly. I traced my lineage as far as back to, I think it was like the early mid 1800s, as far as back as I know. But in terms of my paternal DNA, I've done African ancestry DNA. So a lot of that came through the line of Burkina Faso. I did a maternal DNA test as well, and I've done a lineage test. So my family goes back to Oklahoma, Texas, Virginia, and Mississippi. Yes, we share the same foods. Just because I'm on, let's say there were Africans who were owned by, of course, Native Americans. They've shared foods. They have shared culture. That doesn't necessarily mean that the people are indigenous to the land just because we had shared customs and shared ethnicity like that brother was talking about. We could have spoke the same language, had the same religious values. That doesn't mean that I'm indigenous to that particular place.
Okay. Can I say something?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Now, you were saying Africa. All right, let's keep it to the sweet potato pie, right?
Okay, yes.
Now, if you understand that the sweet potato is indigenous to America, cultivated by the Indians for 5,000 years.
And I understand that yams were also indigenous to Africa.
There's something called a yam, and it's indigenous to Africa.
Yes.
Now, the yam and the sweet potato are two different things, completely.
Mm-hmm.
So now, today, can you understand that the yam can never make sweet potato pie? Never has and never will.
Okay.
So now all the people that make sweet potato pie today look like you, your mama, your grandmama. Now, if that's the case, if you got it from anybody else, it would be the Native American. Now, ask yourself this question. Have you ever seen a Native American make a sweet potato pie?
No.
Exactly. So that means that they're not
Wait,
the
what's your
Native
point,
Americans.
Derek? Derek,
I
what's your
don't
point?
understand that. I don't.
Derek,
What is
what's your
it? What does
point?
any of this have to
You
do with
don't
me
you
and my
don't see the
ancestors being
point.
indigenous to
No, what is your
America?
point?
Okay.
Let's just
Now,
make
okay,
your point clear.
okay. If the sweet potato pie is indigenous to America
Okay.
and
Yes.
it's only grown here and cultivated here
Sure.
by the people here, and the only people who make this pie from this particular crop
Okay.
are the same people that you say are slaves. No
Okay.
other people on this land make this as a people.
Okay.
So how can these people be from somewhere else?
What? Okay. Let me answer your question. Right. Because we share customs. When you're at a particular place, let's say I was enslaved by people and we share
Right.
customs. Right now, I'm not from Germany, but I eat hamburgers and they come from Germany, right? A hamburger.
Okay, but
I'm not from
ground beef
France.
comes from America.
Hold on. But hold on. Hamburgers, the custom, just like spaghetti, comes from Italy. Just like French fries come from
Tomatoes
France.
come from
Hold
America.
on. Hold on. Okay, but it doesn't matter where the food is. We're talking about the custom, where the food is made and produced. It doesn't matter where the individual food comes.
Here.
It's the fact that it's the customs that we're sharing. Just because I eat Native American foods, let's say like a tacos. I'm in LA right now. I eat a lot of tacos and burritos. That doesn't make me indigenous to Mexico. I'm sharing something, a part of a custom. I'm sharing in customs that are
Okay.
indigenous to this part of the earth. That doesn't mean that my
Okay.
ancestors are indigenous to this land because we share similar customs. The people that where I reside that they share. That doesn't mean that I'm indigenous to America because I eat sweet potatoes and Native Americans eat them also because I'm in Mississippi.
Hold on.
I mean,
When have you
Hang
ever
on, no,
seen?
hang on, Derek.
I also
Yes, sir.
eat gumbo, and gumbo is an
Go-
African dish.
No, it's
Also,
not.
yes, it is.
No,
That
it's not.
okra and gumbo is a
Okra don't go in
creation.
gumbo.
Hold on,
I'm from New Orleans.
hold on. I'm telling you two different dishes. I didn't say that okra goes in the gumbo. I'm Black American. I know that, right? I'm telling you that okra is an African dish. I said gumbo is produced. If you're from New Orleans, right?
I'm from New Orleans.
Gumbo has its origin in West Africa. You
No, it
may
doesn't.
disagree. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. I
I
disagree.
can prove it.
Okay, it's fine. We can go down that route. What I'm trying to say is this,
Okay,
right?
do you know what sassafras
Hold
is?
Hold on. We'll go down.
Do you?
No, I don't.
Okay, you don't.
Sassafras, I
So
don't. I don't.
do you ever heard of gumbo filet?
But let's just stay on the topic though, right?
Have you ever heard of gumbo filet, sir?
Okay,
You said gumbo was indigenous to Africa, and I'm about to prove it to you that it's not.
I believe that. Let's say for the argument that it's not, right? Because that's not my.
It's an indigenous Indian recipe.
Okay, fine, sure. I'm not trying to die on that hill.
You're not gonna let me prove it?
I have a bigger point, is what I'm saying, because that's not
okay. What's your bigger point, sir?
My bigger point is that just because we share in dishes here, that doesn't make my ancestry indigenous to this particular part of this place or land. Just because I eat the food here is not proving that my people or my ancestors are indigenous to this particular part of the world because I share in those customs. That's what I'm saying. That's my overall arching point. That's what I'm saying.
All right. Now let me break down your point, sir, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Okay. First of all, if a sweet potato is made to make sweet potato pie, and everything in the ingredients to make sweet potatoes is all American, butter, sugar, cinnamon, all that is indigenous to this land. You're the only people on this land that make it as a people. So you're saying that we're paying homage. Hold on. Well, you're saying that we're paying homage to another people. Huh?
You're saying Black Americans are the only people on this land that make sweet potatoes.
Make it as a people. Make it as a people. Yes. As a people.
Disagree with
daily.
That.
Name another group of people that makes a sweet potato.
White people. I know some Hispanics right here on the West Coast that make sweet potato pie, bro.
Right, and they
white people
here.
And Mexicans make sweet potato pie out
here. Huh? And everybody who came here learned to make sweet potato pie. But your people never learned. Okay, tell me.
What does it have to do with our ancestry?
Hold on.
Talk about the ancestry.
Hold on. Let me talk. Let me show you. Your grandmother, for a fact, makes sweet potato pie, right? Hold on. Your grandmother makes sweet potato pie. You sure of that? Have you seen it, or you just know that because it's a family recipe?
I know that we eat it.
Okay.
I never seen her make it from scratch. Never.
Okay, but you know that it's in your
We
family.
just eat it. We just eat it.
Right.
Sure.
So your grandmother.
Derek, hang on, Derek. Are you saying, Derek, are you saying you guys are foundational? Are you saying y'all are foundational because y'all make sweet potato pie?
That's what it sounds like.
That's not no. I'm saying we're foundational for the simple fact that we're the only Americans.
I want you to listen very, very carefully.
Tell the youth them to be strong. You can't tell the youth them to preach wrongs. While you try it on these lands, just remember every man is equal. Yeah. Each one teach one, and a Father God, him a the only done. So make we ease and reason, smoke trees, span the ends, all the deep meds. Take a look at life, and don't close your eyes. Sometimes things happen and it's no surprise. And I just, so it go. It's a government, no have no heart, them no care about poor people. Yeah, bigger heads no love people again. Them most of than little of them. You see friends now reason again. Vex through whistle a blame. What time it hurt me to see how the face. Deal with the eagle of them. Regular me see it a pain. Regular me see it a pain. Take a look at life and don't.
Hey, peace. What's happening, everyone? On our day, Lloyd.
Ooh, yeah.
Suddenly there came a sound from heaven, as of a rushing mighty wind, like the rushing of a mighty wind, like the rushing of a mighty wind. Come and fill our hearts again, like the rushing of a mighty wind, like a river that is overflow, like a river that is overflow. Come and fill our hearts once more, like a river that is overflow. Let it overflow, let it overflow, let it overflow, let it let it overflow, let it overflow, let it overflow, let it
Yeah, blessings. Once again, you know the routine, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. All of that helps. So you don't know. Without any further ado, let's get started. Where did the term, what does the term Akata mean?
That's good. Akata, they're talking about, they call Akata, are from Nigeria. I'm talking about Akata. Akata will not be used to them.
I'm sorry, did you say it's a term that came from Nigeria? It's a Nigerian term?
Yes, a Nigerian term. It's a Yoruba word.
Okay.
I'm not a Yoruba. So I didn't know the meaning of Akata. Because you have to be because we don't speak the same languages. So Akata, when it came, they were using it for people that came from United States, Nigerians that returned to home, visiting and all these things. So we started hearing the word. We thought the word was cool, you know. Oh, my way from this Akata boy. So we were using it for Nigerians that return home. Then slowly we start asking the Yoruba people, how come about this name? They said when this.
Hold on, I'm sorry, Ola. I'm sorry, Ola. Did you say it was originally used as a term that described Nigerians that were returning to Nigeria?
Yes.
Nigerians.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Nigerians that were returning to Nigeria and their kids and their children. You understand?
Okay.
So it was like they coming from somewhere. But this elderly people that use them, they have never met Black American in their life before. These are like people who went back to the rural areas and all these territories. You know, why they use it against these Nigerian guys that are coming, these guys do not have the respect. You know, because we have tradition when you greet, you bow. They know the tradition, but when they were coming home, they will stand straight and say, "What's up? What's up?" It's like, "What's up, what's up, old man?" You know, or "What's up?" So kind of like disrespectful. So they thought these people are, what's going on? You people just lost the culture. What's this? So that's what they start using the name Akata against those kids, against those guys that are coming home. Until
you may have mentioned it before, but is there a English translation to the term Akata?
Akata means a white leopard.
White
cat. It's like called white, like animal that's not been, domesticated. Animal that's not been trained. It's like no house cat, but white. Jungle cat.
Wild, as in WILD.
Yeah, wild animal. But a cat is actually used for, in Yoruba language, leopard, like a jaguar, leopard.
Leopard, okay, a leopard, okay.
So that's what they've been used for. So they were calling these guys, these are kata. That means to say they don't be trained, they don't know the tradition, you know?
Right, but the term, just to be clear, the term wasn't originally meant or foundational Black Americans. The term was originally meant for Nigerians returning home.
Big time. Because it was this are strong Yoruba word that the contemporary young Nigerians don't know nothing about this. These are words of men that was 80, 70, 90. These are words they use for, because these are like parable words they use for people who doesn't have respect or follow the tradition. You know what I mean? So they were calling them, asking their parents to tell them the culture, that you cannot just stand straight and be greet an old man like that. You need to bow, because over here in Nigeria, everything is respect to the elder. You know? So that's what they were using that word. So Yoruba that were using it. We that are not Yoruba, we don't speak the same language. We don't know what it is, or do we have to ask them, what is this? You understand me? So they also have name for people that come from London also. They call them Jand. You understand me? Jand mean, because these London boys, so they come, they wear like waistcoat, they dress, GQ type of dressing, you know? So they always have name for Nigerian guys that are coming home. So we never meant for FBA, whatever. Out of the blue, they twisted. I don't know what happened between the Nigerians that live in the United States, how they twisted against the Black Americans. That's what we don't know. You know what I mean?
Right. So you're saying it was now the Nigerians in America started using that term against Black Americans.
They flip it. They flip it against it. There's whenever in Nigeria, that's how I call it, because they have never come across Black Americans. Nigeria is a very big country with almost about 500 or something ethnic group people with different languages and everything.
Right. Is there, outside of the Yoruba language, do the other Nigerian languages, is there a word similar to Akata, like explaining the same thing but in a different language? Or is the Yoruba the only language where they have a word like that?
Not at all. Not at all. No.
So it's mainly Nigeria.
Yeah,
It's mainly in Nigeria.
It came from a Yoruba ethnic tribe people, that word. Ghana does not have it. Other part of other tribe like Igbo, Edo, Hausa, Fulani does not have that kind of name for for those people that are returning home. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Most Nigerians, apart from the European people that know it, other Nigerians don't even know what the meaning about it.
Right. I got you.
Ooh, yeah. Nah, nah, nah.
Suddenly there came a sound from heaven, as of a rushing mighty wind, like a rushing of a mighty wind, like a rushing of a mighty wind. Come and fill our hearts again, like a rushing of a mighty wind, like a river that is overflow, like a river that is overflow. Come and fill our hearts once more, like a river that is overflow. Let it overflow, 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 let it over. And let the people come from miles around, as you send your spirit down, just to revive your church, to revive your church again. Please come in like a rushing wind, like a rushing of a mighty wind, like a rushing of a mighty wind. Come and fill our hearts again, like the rushing of a mighty wind. Let it overflow, 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 let it overflow.
From the country because of the president, what we have built. When you look at our modern day reality, we honestly and truly don't give a damn. The reason why we're having these topics and conversations right now is because we had other foreigners, we had illegals basically coming at us. And when they came at us like shutting down things that we have built and created in America. And I told you that things, when you start seeing a Nigerians and Africans, y'all taught us business and how to do braids and stuff, right there are trigger points. That's when you rose up the cut cartel. Y'all don't know the cut cartel. Those are underground businesses that are created by the black man and the black woman. And that's why we rose up with boycotting. We had no qualms. If you go and look at any video that's talking about black and African paying, see everybody say, I didn't even have a problem with you, even though I know you didn't like me. Go watch the videos and you will see them all start off that way. Now, if this was a black and a white conversation, you will know we're going toe to toe. But with everybody else, we like, where you came in at? That's how we're looking at it. There's a big disconnect when it comes to us, Black Americans, African Americans, whatever you want to call us, U.S. citizens, U.S. birth certificate and social security card. We really don't care outside of that. That's why we're white man.
Question, Queen. How come FBA has not boycotted any white companies or white stores? How come? Because y'all speak a lot about you speak a lot about white supremacy, but you've never boycotted any white stores. Like, right. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know about any white companies that y'all have boycotted. Why is it that you only look to boycott African stores and not the white stores that have been discriminating against y'all for years?
So what happened was just like you say about you haven't seen us boycotting any white businesses. Rise up and show me the white businesses that have boycotted us. We only boycott those that decided to boycott us. White businesses didn't boycott us. We don't do boycotts like that. When did
African? Wait a minute. You're saying have Africans boycotted African American stores?
That's what they're planning on doing. They say they want to.
When?
That's why Americans said that, no, you want to boycott us? Let us show you on August the 1st. But prior to that, we were not boycotting.
Well, so when did Africans, when did, I know right now, if I go online, I can see, hold on, I can go online. So can you tell me, when did Africans boycott African-American stores?
It's not a win. If you go looking online, it's honestly a disconnect. If you go and look and go to TikTok, go everywhere, go look at my channel. You can see, a matter of fact, if I can bring you up some of the Africans that have thrown so many stones. That's why you only see in the videos from us within the last few days or so, because they start saying they want to boycott not just African businesses, not just Black businesses, American businesses, because they're being deported.
But that's their right. That's their right. If they want to boycott everybody, hey, get your boycott on.
That's where it started at from there. And then you had so many of them. There's so many of the Nigerians and the Africans that came in. Oh, we're going to boycott because Black Americans don't even know how to do here. We taught them how to do business. We taught them how to do here. That's a cut cartel in our community. That's like something huge. So when you start talking about boycotting money and you do hair better, you really raising up the wrong roosters there right there. That's not even the whole Black community. That's just but that's a big community though. That's a community across the United States, because in the Black community, hair design, hair weave is huge. Huge.
It's huge in Africa too, though.
But it ain't bigger. But African, it might be.
I know it's not bigger, but what I'm saying is it is huge there, and it's a Black woman thing, and I really don't get it because I didn't grow up in that generation.
So that's what I'm saying. So what happened is, so many Nigerians called themselves, or not Nigerians, so many Africans called themselves boycotting. And when they called themselves boycotting, a lot of the videos were boycotting, hitting in on the Black community that do hair. That's why so many people say, oh, y'all want to do us like that? We're boycotting. All of us going to boycott you on August the 1st because they hit in on the Black community, especially with hair weave.
Oh, okay.
Well, really started at.
Well, yeah, I gotta say though, it does seem as if FBA does have a special type of venom, a special type of just, I don't want to say hate because I don't want it to be hate, but just a special something against Black immigrants. Like, I don't hear y'all speaking against Chinese immigrants. Like, it's mainly your main. Now, is it because these are Black people as well that you feel have betrayed y'all? Is that why your venom is so strong against Black immigrants?
No, you have to go back in history, and not ancient history. You go back to the Rodney King riot days, right? When all of them Black people in Los Angeles, South Central, they were mad at the Koreans. You had the Korean store owners and all that. So they didn't like the Korean store owners. You go Chicago, they got the Arab store owners. They don't care for the Arab store owners. But I'm like, well, you complain all day long, but you won't go way out the neighborhood where you can save you some money.
Nothing to do with no other immigrants. When we argue.
Right. So when just one sister, when they get on the, well, you know, now me personally, I can't be on the, let's boycott. No, I'm not going to do any of that because I don't go to their businesses anyway. You know what I mean?
So what I tried to tell them earlier.
I don't go to them. So I'm like, y'all want to go back and forth? Y'all go back and forth. I don't go to those businesses anyway, and my life is cherry. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not sweating it.
That's what I was trying to tell him earlier, that you think that we're casting a stone. No, most Black Americans don't even go to those. Listen, we got our own places to go. Half of the time we ain't going to nobody's place. Why? Because we having barbecues. We selling ribs and fish on the side of the road. We got our own cut business. I told you they call it a cut cartel. We got our own business. When they threw the stone at us, that's when you rose certain communities up. We really don't I don't even go to those stores. They're not even around me. There's no African stores and stuff around us like that. So it's not what y'all thinking. We got thrown into this goddamn mess. But I noticed one thing. Why is a lot of foreigners that's being deported from the country because of the president? Why aren't y'all going towards the president with your problems? We not kicking y'all out. If we could kick y'all out, we'd have did it years and decades ago. Y'all fight us over the law. But we didn't even impose the law. But we should have years ago, and we didn't. How did we get involved in this fight?
Very, very easy. Very easy. Trump said the 14th Amendment was strictly written, which is true, for the children of slaves and nobody else. And it has been abused by other people to get into this country along with birthright citizenship, and I'm shutting it down. That's when all hell broke loose.
But it's true.
Yeah, speaking of shutting it down.
I want you to listen very, very carefully.
It's all about life in the street. People are suffer, try survive in the heat. But bad mind them up to one hygiene not eat. That's why enough of them get rifle a beat. Everybody want the cops, I want to drive in a Jeep. Every day I'm at the ball when she buy in a read. Not even 5 days, you can't find for the week. Me no see no changes, the same cycle repeat. Give thanks cause life it's a sweet. But keep an eye open every time you go slave. Come mankind jealous and them idle go late. Them never yet plant and not try figure it. Bigger heads where you fight for the sake. Now care about the future nor the child where you creep. Them a pray the fat Kyle will submit. The system will slide where you fit.
In the streets so we born and grow. Only Jah know and nobody know.
When we talk about ghetto life, talk about ghetto life.
Everybody a priest say them want the dough. That's why them a speed and they can't go.
Cause this a real ghetto life. This a real ghetto life. Yeah. Everybody just a pre-success. When me looking at the street, how me see enough stress. Them all a fight people who reach up next. Everybody want floss and a beat up chest. Juvenile in a them teen love sex. Them a pre the fast money, them no need subjects. And if you're unfortunate, please don't vex. Also the things said cause the streets don't
In the streets so we born and grow. Only Jah know and nobody know.
When we talk about ghetto life, talk about ghetto life.
Everybody a priest say them want the dough. That's why them a speed and they can't go.
Cause this a real ghetto life. This a real ghetto life. Yeah. It's all about life in the street.
Hispanic immigrants, but about Black immigrants.
Hey, peace. What's happening, everyone? On our day, Louis.
Ooh, yeah. Nah.
Suddenly there came a sound from heaven, as of a rushing mighty wind, like the rushing of a mighty wind. Like the rushing of a mighty wind. Come and fill our hearts again. Like the rushing of a mighty wind. Like a river that is overflow. Like a river that is overflow. Come and fill our hearts once more. Like a river that is overflow. Let it 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 overflow.
Yeah, blessings. Once again, you know the routine, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, all of that helps. So you don't know. Without any further ado, let's get started. KD, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing well, sir. How about yourself?
I can't complain at all. What's on your mind?
Yes, sir, man. I just wanted to come on, man, and let you know, man, you're doing a really good job exposing the FBA many contradictions and just weird stuff that's going on online. We definitely need some anti-propaganda people like yourself doing what you do. So I just came over here, man, and just, shout you out, big you up. You know what I mean? You're doing a good job, man. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I'm hearing you well. Let me set myself up better so I can hear you even better. My headphones just went out on me, so just give me a quick second. Yeah. Say something real quick.
Can you hear me? Testing.
Yes, sir. There you are.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you perfect.
All right, perfect, man. So yeah, man. I just to repeat, man. I just came on here really to just big you up, man. Give you your flowers. I think you're doing a good job exposing a lot of the FBA. Many contradictions that's floating around on the internet right now, and we need some anti-propaganda people like yourself doing what you do to just call out a lot of the BS that's going on, because it's completely and utterly ridiculous. And it's really some CIA federal agent stuff that's going on out here, man. So I just appreciate what you do.
Oh man, don't think what you're saying goes unheard or unappreciated. It's really appreciated, because normally I only get I've only recently started going live, and normally I only get people like Vendetta that are here to, to interrogate me. So I really do appreciate the fact that you're appreciating what's being done, because I do think it's important work to get done. Absolutely. And I think that what you said kind of answers Vendetta's first question as to why I'm doing what I'm doing. I think it's just pretty much to kind of even the playing field a little bit, because me personally, I think FBA are the ones that started this whole rift. And I think they started this whole rift over reparations, which I think is so shameful. And so again, I appreciate that you appreciate what you're hearing and seeing.
Well, most definitely, man. Most definitely. Yeah, you're gonna get attacked a lot, because a lot of these dudes, they're getting paid, and money's on the table, and so and they fall into the trap. And I just want to make this distinction too. There's a very big difference between Black American people and FBA. FBA is Tariq Nasheed's fan club. As you see, I got like a picture of him on here with his dreads or whatever it is he was doing. But it's really Tariq Nasheed's fan club. You'll find that a lot of these guys, they just regurgitate Tariq Nasheed's talking points verbatim. They don't really have any legitimate original opinions about what's going on, So it's just Tariq Nasheed's talking points, even from the word tether. They're just regurgitating Tariq Nasheed's when he does what he does on his channel, which if you follow his channel or you look at it, and you go and you look at the last 25 videos, 20 of the 25 videos are about Black immigrants, not white immigrants or Asian immigrants or Hispanic immigrants, but about Black immigrants. So, so yeah, man.
Yeah,
keep
absolutely.
Doing what you're doing,
It's as if they totally forgot about white supremacy. And I agree with you. I think Black Americans play from the take from the Pan-African playbook, and FBA take from the white supremacist playbook. I think everything they do is very similar to how white supremacists operate. They have a whole supremacist air about them, as if they're better than everyone else. And I think the reason that is because they've been around white folks forever. And I think they actually, if you read Thomas Sowell's work, he says that their whole culture is taken from white redneck culture. And I think they have actually internalized that white redneck supremacist attitude. And that's what they're espousing, but they come off as just rednecks. So I absolutely do agree that there's a difference between Black Americans and FBA. But yeah, thanks for making that distinction as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me mention this as well, and you can look this up too. The concept of the FBA principle. There's actually a white racist person named John Tanton. Who have you heard about John Tanton before?
No.
Okay, so John Tanton is a white racist.
How do you spell his last name? Tantin?
Tanton.
Okay.
So this gentleman is a white racist, a eugenicist, and also and he was a guy that was very much anti-immigration. And the reason he's anti-immigration is because he believes that the white race is becoming the minority in the country. All right, that was his entire ideology, right? So what he did was he created front organizations in order to promote immigration of white immigrants and to stop immigration of Black immigrants, right? And it makes sense if you think about it. He wanted
how long ago was
white
this?
people. This was probably back in the 1990s, okay. Maybe 1980s, something along those lines. So that was his premise. So he created a bunch of front organizations. One of the front organizations that he created was an organization called FAIR. And this organization's purpose literally was to, stop Black immigration. So FAIR actually has a bunch of, subsidiary companies that work under it. That actually, in one of these subsidiary companies, the founder of ADOS, Yvette Carnell, actually sits on the board of one of these subsidiary companies that this white racist guy, John Tanton, originally started and funded, right? And these organizations, a lot of them they're going on to this day, of course. So ADOS is a branch of one of those front organizations that John Tanton originally started. And if you know about ADOS, then you know that Tariq Nasheed got the very ideas and principles that he uses today from ADOS. He literally stole the idea from Yvette Carnell and then repackaged it into this FBA thing, right? So that's really what you're seeing right now. That's why it sounds a lot like white supremacist talking points. It's because they are white supremacist talking points. Directly from a white supremacist. Absolutely. I don't even like the word white supremacist. I'd rather just call them white racists, but that's because they are. So I just wanted to, say that too, and for you to look this gentleman up, I think you did, it would make for a very interesting topic for sure.
Yeah, it sounds really interesting. It just sounds really interesting. It kind of reminded me of, in a way, Marcus Garvey meeting with the KKK.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's interesting. That is very interesting.
I want you to listen very, very carefully.
Tell the youth them to be strong. You can't tell the youth them to preach wrongs. Why you try it on these lands? Just remember every man is equal. Yeah. Each one, and a father God, him a the only dad. So make we peace and reason. Smoke trees, span the ends, all of the meds. Take a look at life and don't close your eyes. Sometimes things happen and it's no surprise. And I just, so it go. It's a government, no have no heart, them no care about poor people. Yeah, bigger heads no love people again. Them most of than little of them. You see friends now reason again. Vex through whistle of them. What time it hurt me to see how the face deal with the eagle of them.
Regular me see it happen. Regular me see it happen. Take a look at life and don't close your eyes. Sometimes things happen and it's no surprise. And I just so it go. It's a government no have no heart, them no care about poor people. Social commentary. Drop the one your principle, you don't know the global will come and do it. Some people life every day it's stress. The high price from JPS, that topic is currently. Jah alone him a go help you. We need food and we no healthy. We are feeling pain, beg you protect we. In our life we have no fence. Take a look at life and don't close your eyes. Sometimes things happen and it's no surprise. And I just so it go. It's a government no have no heart, them no care about poor people.
Come mankind jealous.
I want you to listen very, very carefully.
It's all about life in the street. People are suffer, try survive in the heat. Bad mind them up to one hygiene a tweet. That's why enough of them, rifle a beat. Everybody want big ups and want to drive in a jeep. Every day I'm at the ball when she bike in a read. Not even 5 days, you can't find for the week. Me no see no changes, the same cycle repeat. Give thanks cause life it's a sweet. But keep an eye open every time you go sleep. Cause mankind jealous and them idle go late. Them never yet plant and not try figure it. Bigger heads where you fight for the sake. Now care about the future nor the child where you creep. Them a pray the fat Kyle we submit. The system will slide where you fit.
Inna the streets so we born and grow. Only Jah know and nobody know.
When we talk about ghetto life, talk about ghetto life.
Everybody a priest and them want it though. That's why them a speed and they pan the go.
Cause this a real ghetto life. This a real ghetto life. Yeah. Everybody just a pre-success. When me looking at the street, you me see enough stress. Them all a fight people who reach up next. Everybody want floss and a beat up chest. Juvenile in a them teen love sex. Them a pre the fast money, them no need subjects. And if you're unfortunate, please don't vex. Also the thing said cause the streets don't rest.
Inna the streets so we born and grow. Only Jah know and nobody know.
When we talk about ghetto life, talk about ghetto life.
Everybody a priest and them want it though. That's why them a speed and they pan the go.
Cause this a real ghetto life. This a real ghetto life. Yeah. It's all about life in the street. People are suffer, try survive in the heat. Bad mind them up to one hygiene a tweet. That's why enough of them, rifle a beat. Everybody want big ups and want to drive in a jeep. Every day I'm at the ball when she bike in a read. Not even 5 wheels, you can't find for the week. Me no see no changes, the same cycle repeat. Give thanks cause life it's a sweet. But keep an eye open every time you go sleep. Cause mankind jealous and them idle go late. Them never yet plant and not try figure it. Bigger heads where you fight for the sake. Now care about the future nor the child where you creep. Them a pray the fat Kyle we submit. The system will slide where you fit.
Inna the streets so we born and grow. Only Jah know and nobody know.
When we talk about ghetto life, talk about ghetto life.
Everybody a priest and them want it though. That's why them a speed and they pan the go.
Cause this a real ghetto life.
Right.
This a real ghetto life.
Derek, I'll let you in first. I'll let you go first.
Oh no! First, I wanted to apologize.
All right. Peace. Derek, I'll let you in first. I'll let you go first.
Oh no! First, I wanted to apologize for the young man who was just speaking before, because he was talking some rather rubbish.
The young man in the recording, or the young man in the recording, or
yeah, what you guys were just listening to about the white man became, was the face of disco and all of that. That's true, but not true.
So it's half rubbish.
It's true because what I'm saying is the white people became the face of everything American. The face of everything American.
Except degeneracy in hip hop, bro.
Exactly. But they became the face of everything American. But they're classified as United States citizens who are born in America. So they bit something that was already existing. This is what I'm starting to really understand. They're not American at all. All they did was bite the brand. Because American is a nationality and a brand.
Who are you saying isn't American? White folks?
No. They're classified as United States citizens.
So they're not American. You're saying I'm trying to follow what you're saying, Derek. I'm trying to follow what you're saying.
Okay, think about this. How can a German become an American? How can an American become a German? Your blood is your blood. Who you are is who you are. You can go there and live there, but you never become that.
I mean, if you move to Germany and become a citizen of Germany, you're kind of technically a German.
But you're still,
as long as you have citizenship, you're
that's by paperwork, and people are replacing paperwork for blood.
But
I don't know about that at all. I think that paperwork is going to be more valued than any type of blood anywhere. I don't think. I think the paperwork matters. I think paperwork matters.
Explain that, Derek. What you mean is they are not ethnically American. They have U.S. citizenship, but they are not ethnically American.
Right. You'll never be American.
Well, what is ethnically American?
That means you're here. Okay,
because
let me
ethnicity and nationality and race are all different.
Yeah, let me answer that, brother. I can answer that very briefly. Well, let me answer this question with one sentence.
Yeah, hang on, Derek. Okay. Let's since Pan brought up the idea of ethnically American, let's have him explain what that is.
Very briefly, if your family was not in the U.S. by 1776, you are not ethnically American. You are not foundational to the United States if your ancestors were not in the United States when the United States was founded. Simple concept.
That makes zero sense, though.
Well, what part doesn't make sense, brother? Please tell me.
Okay, because you said that. So anybody who came, let's say in the early 1800s, they're not ethnically American, because ethnic does derive also from culture. So people who came, let's say somebody who came from maybe the last slave ships in the early 1800s, 1802, they're not ethnically American because they.
I'm sorry. Hang on. Who's speaking? Who's asking that question?
This is Black American King.
Black American King. Respect. Good question.
Yeah, Black American King.
Yes, sir.
And I'll answer it with one sentence because I want to have a dialogue with you. So please reduce your response to 1 or 2 sentences. If your family was not here in 1776, that means your family immigrated to a country that was already created. So no, you are not foundational to the United States.
So to me, my response would be that would not make you ethnically American just because you were forcibly brought to the U.S. You could have. What if you were?
If I can, Black King, it sounded like Pan just changed the conversation from ethnically American to foundational. He kind of switched. He's switching up on you.
No, it's the same thing.
Go ahead, Black King.
Ethnicity also, that's a convoluted conversation. Ethnicity also derives from culture. Generally, you differentiate people based on their culture, and that's how you define ethnicity, typically by a series of your languages, a shared culture, language,
and lineage, right? Culture, language, and lineage, correct?
So let's just say even a shared lineage. We can.
All right.
Acceptable. That's acceptable. But A shared lineage doesn't start with the date of 1776.
So you heard what I just said.
A departure, but hold on. You said that you gave a date, a specific date to where a shared lineage.
That's the creation of the United States, 1776. Yes, that's the date I give.
But you're saying the date of departure is 1776 when the date of creation could be first. You could have a
no, that's not what I said.
Somebody.
Well, one might get a time. No, and with all due respect, I think you're confused. What I'm saying is the United States of America was founded in 1776. If your lineage was not in the U.S. at that time, you are not ethnically American. You may be a U.S. citizen, but ethnically, lineage-wise, you are not ethnically American. No, you're not.
Again,
well, what part are you confused about?
Because you're saying that like the ethnicity started there. You can still share that ethnicity after 1776 if you guys share that same lineage at 1806. It doesn't start. You didn't have to be there foundationally at 1776.
Let's have a dialogue. I'm asking the question. Let's have a dialogue. If your family
have to share values at that time,
but you don't have a shared lineage though. You don't have to share lineage, though, brother.
You could have the same shared lineage. What do you mean?
How?
Why does it have to start at 1776 if I can't?
Because that's the creation. Well, brother, let's not talk past each other. What I'm saying is, if you have some ancestors that came after 1776 and they procreated with people whose ancestors were here before 1776, then you're blooded in. But if your ancestors, none of them were here prior to 1776, the founding of the nation, no, you're not ethnically American. You're not a foundational American at all. Foundational means you were here at the founding.
Yeah, foundational does, but we're talking.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
But we're not talking about.
That's exactly what we're talking about, brother.
If you can understand legally today, what is the pathway for, let's say, a Chinese man comes from China to here? When does he become an American?
Are you saying citizenship wise? Because he can never be ethnically American.
You have to, there's a pathway.
Okay.
See, you got to hold on.
The majority of whites aren't ethnically American then.
Exactly. Hold on. The brother just made a great point.
Just listen.
No, he made a good point. Let's not speak past what he said.
Listen, why?
Derek, hold on. He just made a great point that we need to highlight. And I brought it up last time I spoke to Jamaican Dream. Most Caucasians in the U.S. are not descendants of the founders of the U.S. They are white tethers. To address Jamaican Dream's point earlier, yes, there are definitely white tethers. Really, tether is not a racially specific term.
Okay, can we explain?
Hang on a second. Pan mulatto. Pan mulattoism. I have a lot of names I could call you, right? But if you choose to call me out of my name, I'm either going to call you out your name or remove you from the panel.
I didn't even call you any names. What name did I call you, brother?
My name is American Dream.
You're being sensitive. Are you not Jamaican?
I'm going to tell you one more time. You call me out my name, I'm going to either call you out your name, which I don't want to do, or I'm going to remove you from the panel. I don't really want to have a discussion.
Well, I'm not arguing with you. I'm not arguing with you at all. Are you not Jamaican?
Right, good.
So I'm clear. Are you not Jamaican?
I don't want to have that conversation. Yes, but my name is American Dream.
So I called you Jamaican,
my name is American.
I'm not insulting you.
My name is American Dream.
Brother, you're Jamaican. I'm addressing you as a Jamaican, just like I'm American.
Well, I said what I have to say.
I said what I said, brother. We can move forward.
You're both American.
Let's move forward.
Stop the bull. Jamaica is an island off of the continent of America. What are you talking about? We are all Americans. This is the problem. You guys don't know basic civics. Basic civics, well, you will understand that an American is a nationality. The United States citizenship as a whole is a status granted to immigrants as a whole. Period.
I thought we were talking about.
That's why United States citizens can only be United States citizens born in America. That would mean their father had to be a citizen first. Their son can be called an American. Period.
Hey, let me ask.
They're all descendants of United States citizens. All of them, legally, till today. You
Hang
are
on
the
a second,
only ones
Derek,
born American.
All right, let me ask
Jamaica,
Derek, hang on a second. I want to ask Pan Mulattoism, since he brought up the idea of ethnic citizenship. I think is that what you
U.S.
call it?
Americans, yes.
Yeah. So what rights do you have as an ethnic U.S. citizen that a non-ethnic U.S. citizen does not have? Or to rephrase the question, what right do you recommend that ethnic U.S. citizens have that other U.S. citizens shouldn't have?
Yes, and I'm glad you asked
So
that.
those are two questions.
Exactly.
What right
Let
do
me
you
answer
have? Those are two questions. What right do
let
you
me
have
answer
that other citizens don't? And what right? And if you can't think of any, which right do you recommend y'all have
exactly
that nobody
and,
else has?
Let me respond. It'll be brief. And actually, I'm glad you brought this up. Now, I never claimed that ethnic U.S. Americans have rights that naturalized Americans or descendants of immigrants have in the U.S. But if you ask me my recommendation, and really, this is a great question, I recommend that we create legislation that only ethnic U.S. Americans, that is descendants of the founders of the U.S., be able to be in law enforcement, have government jobs, attain positions within politics, such as the president, mayor, city council, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
How would that
Good
work?
point.
Considering
Okay.
Now the question
Good
would
luck with
be,
that.
I want you to listen very, very carefully.
It's all about life in the street. People are suffer, try survive in the heat. But mind them out to one hygiene not eat. That's why enough of them get rifle a beat. Everybody want the cops and want to drive in a jeep. Every day I'm at the ball when she buy in a read. Not even 5 days, we can't find for the week. Me no see no changes, the same cycle repeat. Give thanks cause life it's a sweet. But keep an eye open every time you go slave. Cause mankind jealous and them idle worry. Them never yet plant and not try figure it. Bigger heads where you fight for the sake. Now care about the future nor the child when you crave. Them a pray the fat Kyle was submit. The system will slide where you fit.
In the streets where we born and grow. Only Jah know and nobody know.
When we talk about ghetto life, talk about ghetto life.
Everybody a priest and them want the dough. That's why them a speed and they pan the go.
Cause this a real ghetto life. This a real ghetto life. Yeah. Everybody just a pre-success. When me looking at the street, you me see enough stress. Them all a fight people who reach up next. Everybody want floss and a beat up chest. Juvenile in a them teen love sex. Them a pre the fast money, them no need subjects. And if you're unfortunate, please don't vex. Also the thing said, cause the streets don't
In the streets where we born and grow. Only Jah know and nobody know.
When we talk about ghetto life, talk about ghetto life.
Everybody a priest and them want the dough. That's why them a speed and they pan the go.
Cause this a real ghetto life. This a real ghetto life. Yeah. It's all about life in the street. People are suffer, try survive in the heat. But mind them up.
Be revoked. We.
Hey, peace. What's happening, everyone? On our deal with.
Recognize royalty, recognize royalty, gotta recognize royalty, like they ain't got eyes to recognize royalty. I can feel recognize royalty, I can see recognize royalty. Now I recognize royalty inside. Royalty, I can see recognize royalty. I can love recognize royalty. Now I recognize it. Royalty. I recognize passion.
Yeah, blessings. Once again, the routine, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. All of that helps. So you don't know. Without any further ado, let's get started. Go ahead, Mulattoism.
Yes, and it'll be brief. To all the ADOS and the FBAs, really spend too much time arguing with travelers, arguing with Africans and Caribbeans and other immigrants. Instead, just call ICE on them every day. Literally, when you're driving through your communities, you see Africans and Caribbeans, call ICE on them. You see an African business, call ICE on it. You see a Caribbean business, call ICE on it. Matter of fact, you could even Google, someone I have to mute up. It's a lot of background noise. You can even Google a list of African and Caribbean businesses and call ICE on all of them. Make sure
it's not me. Somebody's driving a car.
I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back, everybody.
Let's have some decorum, please. The point is, instead of arguing back and forth with these immigrants, just call ICE on them, get them out the paint. Like I said,
And is that? Hang on. Are you suggesting that we call ICE on any African? Do we know whether we know if they're legal or not? We should just call ICE.
And that's the point I was attempting to make before I was cut off. Literally, ICE will determine if they are here legally or not. I'm saying call ICE on. My point is call ICE on all Africans, on all Caribbeans, on all immigrants. ICE will determine if they are here legally or not. Get them out the paint. Get them all out the paint.
But wouldn't that be kind of like a waste of our resources? Like, that's like saying call the cop. If you see a black person, just if you see anyone, call the police and say they stole something. And then when the cop comes, they'll figure it out whether they stole it. That just seems like a waste of resources, doesn't it?
Let me answer that.
Shouldn't you at least have some type of information before you call ICE?
Let me try to answer that question very briefly. Number one, we have information that they are immigrants. Number two, these immigrants, they call the police, they call law enforcement on ADOS and FBAs without having any evidence against us. They stereotype us when we go in their businesses. So we should use that same law enforcement mechanism that is used against us as a weapon. We must use that same law enforcement mechanism as a weapon against the immigrants. So yes, it's not a waste of time at all. We can get all of them out the paint by simply calling ICE. That's a power that we do have.
And the number?
Yeah, I gotta say, Pan, I think ICE would disagree with you. I think ICE would prefer that you have some more information rather than
let me
just
give you an example.
They have an accent. So everyone that has an accent, you're gonna call ICE on like that. That sounds a little irresponsible to me.
Respectfully, I can tell you're triggered because you are a immigrant. But the point is this: I got over 60 illegal aliens deported myself. So what I'm doing actually works tangibly. So the point is, to all my ADOS and FBAs listening, call ICE on these travelers. Let ICE determine if they are here legally or not. ICE will appreciate it, actually. And we pay ICE to work for us. We do not pay ICE to twiddle their thumbs.
In the reward, the phone number is in the chat because I make sure that I advertise it all day, every day when I do my lives. It's 866-DHS, the number 2, the word ICE. They're giving us $750 goddamn reward. You better get them.
Great point, Didi. And let me say this in closing.
Hold on, Pan, before you go. So if you've done over 60, that means you've gotten a lot of money off of this.
Let me respond. Well, one step at a time. The point I was attempting to make is ICE is hiring right now. They have a $120,000 salary with a $45,000 sign-on bonus and unlimited overtime. So I advise all ADOS, FBAs, apply to ICE. Really get these illegal aliens out the paint.
All right. So Queen, it sounds as if you kind of second that emotion.
I'm second and third and then fifth in that emotion. The way I do the motion, I may not do it quite like Pan do it, but what I do is when I'm doing my live, I make sure I confirm and I concur. The number for ICE for any illegal immigrants is 866-DHS, the number 2 in the word ICE. And I make sure they understand it's imperative for you to know that the reward is $750. And if there's any Black Americans out there or white Americans out there and y'all want to see y'all lands cleared up and y'all want to be able to see through this goddamn earth that we don't have to be on our goddamn country scuffling and stressed out and not understanding why these goddamn corporations not paying you the right way, clear the goddamn playing fields, and we'll start over. You know how we gonna start over? We'll start over by once we clean in front of our front doors, because Trump already cleared out the country. They know how to come to us with contracts now. Now we need to get the illegal immigrants out that's not supposed to be here. Then we'll go inside our country and we'll start working on all the other illegals, like the bad people getting food stamps, the goddamn Social Security fraud. But we need to get our country back together. If you don't belong here, haul ass. If you don't know how to get their ass out, it's 866-EHS, the number 2, and the word ICE. There's a $750 reward. If there's any channels out there, anybody trying to grow their businesses, y'all better understand it can be a lucrative business. It could almost be like a bail bond business. You can start working to get all illegals out of every crack in the square. Get them out.
If you don't call ICE, you're part of the problem. If you don't call ICE, you're part of the problem.
Boom.
Right, and just to be clear, like I'm not an FBA, but I'm also against illegal immigration because I came here legally. So the fact that y'all want people to call ICE against, I'm not against ICE, and I'm not against what ICE is doing because I'm a legal immigrant and I believe in legal immigration. Pan mulattoism, do you believe in? Are you okay with legal immigration, or do you feel like no one should come here?
We need to place a moratorium on immigration to the U.S. We already let too many immigrants in. So at this point,
isn't there already a moratorium?
No, it's not actually, and that's the point I'm making. At this point, I support a complete immigration ban to the U.S. Completely.
Put everybody in COVID. We need to quarantine. That's what I said on my channel. It's time for us. We need to get these illegal immigrants out of here, and we need to quarantine. Then we can start seeing what we're up against. Then we can see if white people getting over on us. Then we can see if our Black Americans getting over our white Americans. Immigrants. We got to be able to see our own house, but we can't see it when there's so much goddamn dirt and dust on the ground. How could you see through the damn fog? You ain't no Mack truck. Get all of that out of here and let's breathe. I can't breathe, but I'm sleeping a whole lot better now because I can see we gonna have some construction going on around here.
Yeah, and
thumbs up button. One more again, if you're in the chat, please hit that like button. That like button gets more people in here and gets people in here that's brave enough to hit that link. You know what I mean? It's a live show. We here, we plan a recording, but we here, we are live. And as soon as someone is brave enough to hit that link, we go live. But we in here. Bless up. Hit that like button, please.
Good money. They have it naturalized here.
Mm-hmm.
One, the drummer for Metallica. I love Metallica.
But
the drummer for Metallica, Lars.
Go ahead.
He's been in the United States for years.
Yep.
Millionaire. Has yet to immigrate to become a citizen in this country. He need to go.
Nice.
You good enough to make money in this country, you good enough to be a doggone U.S. citizen. If you're making money here and you're staying here, hey, that's all to it. You got to doggone change over or take your butt back. Like England, over there, you had like different groups that left there to record and do different things and release music because the taxes in like England, the United Kingdom was so high. So they were trying to avoid paying those high taxes. But I'm like, you can't just come in this country and you're trying to avoid the taxes in your country because yours are going to be higher than in this country. And you're not a doggone legal you've been living on a visa forever. You got kids with whatever women you've been with here. They're anchor babies in my view. No. Right. You got to go. You got to go. Legally immigrate here or get the hell out.
All right, and you agree with the ban as well. You agree with banning immigration.
Yeah, do a moratorium on it temporarily. Do a 2-year moratorium on it.
There you go.
So we can get this thing together. See, And them people like Lars, that's in Metallica, and these other doggone musicians, they can get to stepping too. I ain't for just the Africans and the Hispanics and no, all of them.
Thank you.
The white ones, especially the rich ones.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm a hater. So especially the rich ones, get them the hell out of here.
You're right, Leonard. You're right, Leonard. The reason why you're right is because we do need to. Now, I know Pan said we need to put it permanently. For now, if permanent is the answer, then okay. But I know we at least need to do a 2-year. The reason why is because we got to make sure if we can get everybody out of here that's not supposed to be here, you could best believe we can make America again. That's what you got to do. It's almost like y'all got to understand America is like the earth on this goddamn planet. We the new goddamn earth. All the countries are around us. Why do you think we are the country with the most illegal immigrants? We are the country with the most immigrants. Why? Because it's a pleasure to be in this country. It's a pleasure to be here. But you got to come here and go through the same things that we went through. All that FBA and pan this and issue this. God damn it, I'm an American. I'm a natural lives born American that can go back all the way, not from great grandma, from great. So you're not gonna send me to Africa, God damn it, to go over there and be the new goddamn foreigner.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't want to speak. Hang on, guys. I don't want to speak for Ola, but I think Ola would say that Black Americans don't have the power to even start to make something like that happen. But pan mulattoism. What about the naturalized citizens that are already here? Do you think, like, you want to ban? You don't want any more immigration. What about the ones that are already here? Do you think their citizenship status should be revoked and that they should be shipped out as well?
Yes, we definitely got to ship them out, denaturalize them, because most of them exploited the 14th Amendment, which was not created for them anyway at all. The 14th Amendment was created exclusively for descendants of U.S. chattel slaves. And you asked me a question, I answered it directly. Let me ask you a question with all due respect. Don't you realize that if you and your family didn't leave the Caribbean, you all could have developed the Caribbean into metropolises comparable to a Singapore or Japan, but you all chose to run away. Don't you realize that this is shameful?
To your country.
Are there any immigrants from Singapore here?
Well, that's the deflection. I can answer that. There are minimal numbers of Singaporeans in the U.S. Actually, Caribbeans outnumber Singaporeans in the U.S. You say I answered your question, I did not deflect. Are you able to answer mine? Don't you realize that if you did not abandon the Caribbean, you could build the Caribbean into metropolises comparable to a Singapore or Japan or in Malaysia, etc.?
Well, you know, I do think, only thing I can say to that is that from being here, 20%, but I can only speak for Jamaica, but a large portion of the Jamaican GDP comes from outside of Jamaica. So about 20% of it, for that matter. Only about, I think it's a small percentage of, based on the percentage of Jamaicans that leave, what they contribute to the GDP in Jamaica is more had they stayed in Jamaica. Because a lot of them that leave, they actually go back to Jamaica and start businesses. They open resorts, they send money back. So for me in particular, I think it's been more beneficial to my family that I be here than be in Jamaica. And I think a lot of immigrants can say that as well, because just because an immigrant leaves doesn't mean that they forget about their home country. They still do a lot of investing there, investing that they could not have done had they stayed there. But let me ask you a question as well,
Pan. Not have done without American money.
Hang on, Pan. I think I answered your question. Now I think I need you to answer my question. So here's a question for you. There are a lot of white people today who feel that FBA, Foundational Black Americans who were slaves, who feel that they never should have gotten citizenship and that they should also be shipped out. What do you say to those people?
All right, and notice I'll answer your question directly and I won't deflect like you attempted to, because you spoke about how Jamaica is dependent on remittances, but that's why I brought up the country of Singapore. They're not dependent on remittances.
Right.
So let me answer your question directly. Now, these whites that you're asking me about, are they descendants of the founders of the U.S. or not? Yes or no?
A lot of them, yes.
No.
All right. The ones that
they may
are
not be descendants. Hold on. They may not be direct descendants of the founder. When you say the founders, you mean the presidents, the what we consider the founding fathers, or are you just asking me if they're descendants of the same way y'all are foundational black? Are you asking me about people that consider themselves foundational white Americans that have ancestry throughout? Like those people, people feel that. Hold on, man. There are people today that feel that black Americans who are slaves should never have gotten citizenship. That they should have once slavery was ended, they wanted y'all shipped out as well. So now my question to you is, how is what you're saying any different from them? And what do you say to them? How do you answer them and say, no, you should stay and that you have a right to stay?
Yes, and I noticed when I asked you a direct question, you're unable to answer it. So I'll answer your question directly once again. Now, the whites that are not descendants of the founders of the U.S., literally, I just told you, I suggest that we denaturalize them and deport them. Actually, I called ICE on white immigrants, and I got over 30 Eastern European
You're not answering my question, though. Now you're deflecting my question.
No, you're interrupting me. I'm trying to answer your question. Now, if you're speaking about the descendants of the founders of the U.S., literally, I'm also a descendant of the founders of the U.S. So their opinion is not more valid than mine. I think a lot of the Caucasians that are descendants of the founders of the U.S., they need to be stripped of their inheritance because they robbed my family of their inheritance. So we both have our own contention with each other, but that's an in-house issue. That has nothing to do with immigrants are foreigners. So if me and other Americans have our own internal problems, that's what I have to deal with.
But they don't consider you American.
It don't matter what they consider me. That's an in-house. 1 minute. Let me answer the host. It don't matter what they consider.
They don't consider you American. They consider the same way.
Hold on, did you hear me address that? Hold on, host. Did you hear me address that? It doesn't matter what they consider me. My paperwork.
Okay, so why can't an immigrant say? Why can't a legal immigrant who's a citizen say to you, it doesn't matter what you think. I don't care that you think me as a legal immigrant should get my citizenship revoked. It doesn't matter. Why can't I say to you? Why can't I say to you the same thing you're saying to the white man who wants you out? It doesn't matter what you think.
Let me respond to
your opinion doesn't count.
Because we all
exactly. No, hold on. Let me respond to the host. Let's not get emotional. Let me respond to the host. Actually, you have a right to say that, and I'm still calling ICE on your cousins. So it doesn't matter what you say. I'm still calling ICE on your Caribbean cousins and getting them deported. Do you understand?
I don't have any illegal cousins. I don't know what you're talking about. I already told you I'm against illegal immigration. I already told you. Now you're changing the subject.
No, I'm answering you directly. But what part did I not answer? What part did I not answer?
I mean, I'm just addressing the point you said. I don't know why you're bringing up the fact that I have no illegal cousins. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
No, I'm speaking about your extended. I'm speaking about your. Let me have the dialogue with him. I'm speaking about your extended family that came here illegally from the Caribbean. I call ICE on them actively. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter if you think my opinion matters or not.
But I already agree with you. I think anyone that comes here illegally. But I agree with you. Anyone that comes here illegally should be deported. Now, the only issue I'm having. Yeah, interesting comment in the chat. First Eye Beats, you are the only Americans. Can y'all hear me in the chat? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, please. I need to know that y'all can hear me before I start running my mouth and can't nobody hear what I'm saying. So can y'all please let me know if y'all can hear me in the chat? You? All right. We are the only Americans. I think it was USA Docs that came up with that argument before. And First Eye Beats, if you want to come up and talk about that, if you want to show why Black Americans are the only Americans, that would be very revealing and open a lot of minds. So, you know what I mean? The link is pinned. If you can come up and defend why you think y'all are the only Americans, that would be great. Because, I think USA Docs kind of left it open as to whether he thought they were the only United States of America Americans or whether they were just the only continental Americans. So maybe you can clarify that for us a little bit, First Eye Beats. So, the link is pinned, buddy. The link is pinned. You know what I mean? Don't be a chatty in the patty. Hit that link. Come defend yourself and your position if you don't mind. But until then, you know what I mean? Well, yeah, what's his name? Pan Mulattoism brought up the Singapore thing. He said, we could have been as built up as Singapore. But there are still Singapore immigrants here. As built up as Singapore is, there are still immigrants here from Singapore. So apparently fixing up their country doesn't prevent immigrants, Pan Mulattoism. So you would still have to deal with us, whether our place is fixed up or not. Sucks for you, buddy. But yeah, Beats, we are here. First Eye Beats, we here. Come speak your mind. Come speak your mind. With you is that you think anyone who became a naturalized citizen also should be deported. But you have to remember, Pan Mulattoism, Black Americans didn't become citizens until the 19th century, right? Y'all just gained citizenship yourselves. And there are white people. I'm not finished.
Actually, you're wrong.
Listen, I'm not finished.
You're wrong.
I'm not finished. Let me finish. Black people, y'all have been here since the 17th century, but you didn't get your citizenship until the 19th century. And even then, there were white folks that didn't want you to get citizenship. There were white folks that was like, no way, don't give these freed slaves any citizenship. Ship them out of the country. The same way y'all want to ship immigrants out of the country. I think that's why a lot of immigrants class you guys with the white supremacists, because you think like them. The same way white supremacists. Hang on, Queen. Hold on, Queen. I'm not finished. There's a luxury of being the host. The same way white supremacists want y'all out of the country is the same way you want Black immigrants. You want all immigrants out of the country. So that's why they say you're taking from the white supremacist playbook. And you're ignoring the fact that y'all are immigrants to white supremacists and they want you out and you think they're on your side.
And just to be clear, no, we never said that.
That was never said. And if I could put this out there,
we never said the whites was on our side.
Hold on. If I may, and I've been briefed so far, right? If I may, you said these white people that name your source.
Come on. You go against us?
Here, check. Look in the chat. If you look in the chat right now.
No. The chat don't mean.
Leonard, don't cut me off. Leonard, don't cut me off.
The chat don't mean squat. You got 12 people.
Yeah, but don't be triggered. He's a teller. Don't be triggered. He's a teller.
Name your source.
If you look in the chat right now, you'll notice that someone, EMAB Squad Gaming, says white people are building white-only cities right now in Arkansas, in America. And you know who they wouldn't invite? You know who they wouldn't invite? Pan Mulattoism and Leonard and Queen? None of y'all.
The person in your chat.
Hold on. As much as y'all want to call yourselves foundational Black Americans, and as much as y'all think y'all can kick everybody out, there are people here that want to kick y'all out as well.
But can they? Hold on, but can they kick us out? No, let them answer that. Can they kick us out? Yes or no?
They say you can't kick me out. And the same way you want me out.
We kicking your cousins out every day, right?
You listen, pan mulattoism. Listen to what you want. You want naturalized citizens to be. You want their citizenship to be revoked.
Yes.
And
definitely.
you think there's a pathway for that. If there's a pathway for
Well,
that,
the Supreme
then
Court is
there
on the
must
way.
be a path. Listen to me, pan mulattoism. If there's a pathway for my citizenship to be revoked, then there's a pathway for yours to be revoked.
So what's the
You
pathway?
haven't been a citizen forever.
Hold on, but let him answer that. Hold on, let him answer that. What is the pathway?
You haven't been a citizen forever either.
But hold on. Let the host answer. What is the pathway?
Mulattoism. Can I say something to y'all? Let me say something to y'all.
Yeah. All right, but I bet you brought my question. Go ahead.
Listen to me and listen to me carefully. The white people
we don't care
that want just a white America would prefer that FBA people be kicked out than immigrants. They would rather that immigrants.
We know that, brother. We know that.
They had it. So if it was up to the white folks that ran this country, if it was up to the white people that run this country, they would keep immigrants and kick y'all out. Of course you don't care.
Well, that's a gaslighting technique, but let me ask you.
And that's the fact that y'all don't care.
Hold on. Can I get one in right quick?
Let me finish.
Yeah,
the fact that y'all don't care. Listen, I don't want to kick y'all off, but let me finish. The fact that y'all don't care, shows is evidence to me. Y'all even made me forget the damn point I was gonna make. But the fact that y'all don't care speaks volumes. The fact that y'all don't care speaks volumes. And here's what I was gonna say. The fact that y'all don't care the fact that y'all don't care that white people want y'all out gives every immigrant reason to not give a shit that y'all want them out. I don't understand why you think.
It doesn't matter whether or not they want to kick us out. The fact of the matter is, can they? But I can tell you what, if you got your ass.
But you can't kick me out either.
Wait a minute.
You can't kick me out either.
When she's done, I want to address that point. So go ahead, sis.
Let me finish. No matter how bad they want to kick me out, long as my birth certificate say uphill and my social security card say uphill and it's not a green card, the only place they can kick me is either in jail or off this goddamn earth. You can't send me nowhere else. But if you slip and you walk down the wrong road, your ass out of here. It don't matter.
All right, so I'm going to start calling the cops on every black American and just telling them they committed a crime and put y'all all in jail. How's that? Is
y'all
that
already did it. Now, if I may.
All right, so y'all are going to call ICE.
Let me get a next.
You guys call ICE, and we're going to call the police.
Next thing. I've been brief with my response. I've been brief. Now, you all that have been naturalized citizens in this country, your citizenship can be revoked. We that were born in this country and have ancestry in this country, our citizenship cannot be stripped. And hold on. Let me give you example.
Leonard.
Never
no,
your
hold on. Let him answer. How can it be stripped?
Hold on. Okay. Can I finish?
No, let me.
Yeah.
No.
Finish your statement, and I'll tell you how yours can be revoked.
I'm going to give you names. You can research names, okay? From the city I was born and raised in. Now, there's this guy's name is Jeff Fort, okay? He was a leader of the Black Peace Stone Rangers.
Because he was doing business with Omar Gaddafi, bro.
Come on now. Let me finish. Now, he organized to pull terrorist attacks on federal buildings in the United States. He went to prison for it. They didn't kick him out nowhere because they couldn't. His counterpart of the opposite set, Larry Hoover, who grew up down the street from me, okay, in Inglewood in Chicago. He got locked up in 1973 and ain't seen daylight since. Now, Trump just commuted his federal time, but he still got 200 years of state time to complete.
On FBA.
Hey, what's happening, Dex?
Yo, what's happening?
I'm chilling. How are you?
I'm good.
We've spoken before, right, Dex?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. What's on your mind this morning?
And then I was just listening to the video, man. You know, it's just crazy how these people making these crazy conspiracies up in their head. I don't know. It's really bizarre how they thinking. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah. Where are you from, Dex?
I'm from California.
So you're Black American, no Caribbean or African ancestry. You're just a.
Nah, I got African ancestry. I don't claim to not have no African ancestry, but I'm a Black American for sure.
Okay, but you don't seem to um vibe with the FBA or
Nah,
ADOS philosophy. Do you agree? Do you believe in reparations? Do you think Black Americans should be paid reparations?
yeah, for sure. It's not. I'm not against nothing that they specific. I'm against most of the stuff that they say, but I'm not against like stuff like that, like reparations and that we're foundational Black Americans. I don't disagree with none of that, but it's the way they using it, or the way they, you know, that they're using what they're saying that they're trying to get accomplished.
Okay, like what, for example?
When they they're making a distinction between us and the continental African, and that shouldn't necessarily be made in the context that they're using it in.
Do you think a distinction should be made?
No, not at all. Well, not really. I'm half and half with it.
Not even for reparations purposes. Do you think that reparations in America should be given out to any Black person that lives in America? They don't have to prove their lineage.
No, I don't believe so. I believe it should be a global thing. I believe because it was one transatlantic slave trade, so it should be one reparations for all people that were enslaved, regardless if you in Southern America, Northern America, Caribbean, whatever.
But the United States of America didn't enslave everybody that was enslaved. So why should America be responsible for everybody's reparations?
No, I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying like America, Britain, the British, everybody that enslaved African people need to come up with a number that they could give us as a whole. They all benefited from it.
Right, and so who would get it though? Like just anyone who would. I understand that any country that was involved in the trade would put a fund together.
Yeah,
but
no,
who would payments go to?
I get your question. All we would have to do is just take a DNA test, and that'll just stop most of the arguments that's going on now in today's age. For instance, you got the indigenous people, quote unquote, and then you got these FBAs and these ADOS. Like all that shit is like conspiracy. That's all made up shit that they making to distinct us Black people in America away from all the Africans on the globe. And that's what I'm saying.
But you said they would take a DNA test. Like, what would their DNA have to show? What would you be looking for in their DNA to say they should get money out of that pot, out of that reparation? Like, what would you be looking for in their DNA?
Well, I would say at least one ancestor's blood that could be tracked, if not tracked, traced to Africa.
But doesn't like how long ago? Because everyone, including white folks, go back to Africa.
That's a good question.
But how long ago would you have? Like, do you go along with Tariq's number of 1870?
Let's say 500 years ago, because it would have to be before the actual transatlantic slave trade. So let's say 500 years ago. No,
500 years ago, anywhere in the world, if you can prove because you said it's global. So if you can prove that you've been a slave, that your heritage were enslaved, 500.
Under one condition is that it can't be a white person that has DNA of the African person that's claiming to get the reparations. Because you got people that's white that's mixed with African DNA too as well. So As long as it's not that, then and you got to identify with our struggle. So you can't just be benefiting off of reparation because you got African DNA and you full-blooded white and you claim to be a white person. That's it.
And you have, but don't most African Americans have a little bit of European in them, don't they?
Yeah, but
Matter of fact, I think that's what FBA kind of uses as their.
That's by way of rape. That's by way of rape. So that's why I said that's the only condition. Well, that's not the only condition, but it's one of the only conditions.
I mean, it's not all by way of rape. I mean, I don't think it's all by way of rape. There are people today. I think Tariq is married to a white girl, if I'm not mistaken. So his children wouldn't even qualify.
That's why I said that was one of the conditions, because that's one condition too. You can't be married to a white person because basically your money going to the white community. You feel me?
Yeah, so you would have to trace your DNA back to 500 years ago, anywhere in the world that people were slaves.
And if you marry, you can't be married to a white person with European DNA.
Right. So the African countries that were selling slaves, because African countries were big into slavery 500 years ago. People even say it's going on there today. So those Africans that were just slaves in Africa, they would be entitled to some, like those African countries would have to be a part of the countries that pay out reparations, right? It's not just the European countries.
What do you mean? You saying so the African people that sold us off? Is what you saying?
Yeah, because the African people that sold us off, they enslaved us before they sold us, and there was slavery in Africa. Let me just finish. There was slavery in Africa throughout the time period. When there was slavery here in America, there was still slavery going on in Africa. So if we're going to have a global reparations, the slaves that stayed in Africa, right, and the slaves that were there in Africa would have a claim against those African states, right? And so some African countries, those African countries like Ghana and stuff like that, that participated, they would have to be, forking up some of the reparations money as well, right?
No, and I'm gonna tell you why. Have you ever heard of the year of return?
Yeah.
So Africa is giving out reparations already as it is. If you don't know what the real year of return is they giving us dual citizenship, or you can get full citizenship as a way of the chief. The chiefs was basically saying like they understand that previous chiefs has partaken in the role of selling us off. So their way of apology is giving reparations in the form of citizenship. Also, if you buy land, they give, and you got if you buy some land, they're giving you more land on top of that, probably like 3 times the land to build whatever you want to build. And if you want projects, like say if you want a project on your land, they funding it too as well. So that's a form of reparation. We just don't know nothing about it.
You said they're giving away land. If you buy land, they'll triple it for free.
Yeah, that's from what I understand. Yes.
I don't know if that's true. You would have to kind of source that for me, because I don't know. I know there you can buy land there, but I don't know if they're going to triple it. And
I'll source it for you. But
yeah, you would definitely have to source that. Because I think the back to the year of return and Ghana inviting Black Americans back is in Ghana's best interest, and I think Ghana really is the one that wins from that type of setup where
I don't think that is necessarily just about that. I mean, you could look at it like that because we have the right to from our lens, but I think it's truly insincere. I don't think it has anything to do with necessarily capitalization. I feel like in a sense, because they know look at what's over here. We built this over here, so they looking like this is a win-win situation for us to plead our ties. Like, yeah, I agree to that, but like I don't necessarily think that that's how they looking at it in a sense. They looking at it like, okay, we really truly are sorry for what the previous chiefs did, so this is our way of apologizing. Boom.
Yeah. So you said when they look at what we've built over here, when you say we, who's the we you're talking about?
what they would call a foundational Black American.
You believe that y'all built America?
I wouldn't say y'all in a sense, because it wasn't just us. It was African people that came over here.
African people that came over here.
Yes, they built it on free labor.
You know, because in some sense,
hold on, before you say that, because let me clear out what I'm saying. A lot of the times when you say slaves, it got a negative cognitive, like a negative perception on what I'm saying. But I'm gonna readdress what I just said. I'm not gonna say slaves. We were architects. We were scientists. We were teachers. We were builders. We were all these things. We just came in the form of a slave for free labor. That's all it was. We patented it. We built America. Look at the stoplights, the toilets, the cell phone, everything you want to name. That's what built America, which we did. We invented all those things.
I mean, no, well, you know, I don't, that's not necessarily, I don't think of America as stoplights and stuff like that. I think.
No, I'm saying, but where did it really come from?
Where did what come from? America?
No, I'm saying, where did it really come from? Like these patents and shit. Somebody had to patent the toilet, and somebody had to build an idea about it. It was African people. We did that.
But not just y'all though. Not just y'all though.
Who do you think did it then?
Built America?
No, I'm saying just did all these things which makes America today.
I think all Americans throughout history did that. You know what I'm saying? Like
no,
them white folks. Like, how can you say that the Africans that were slaves built it, but the slave masters didn't? Like,
because
anything, I think
we were considered as property at a point in time. So anything that
So how does property? So how do you as property build something that and the property owner didn't? That's like if I have that's like you know, if I have a tractor and I'm making a farm and I use the tractor. Are you saying the tractor is building the farm and not the farmer?
If you could listen to what I just answered your question. That's a good analogy, but not up to par to what I'm saying. If I built the tractor and the tractor knocked everything down that I need, then of course I built it, you know. But I'm saying like this. Look, if I built let's say if I built something and I was considered as a white man property, whatever I build is no longer mine. He stripped it from me because I'm his property. It's his now.
Especially if he told you to build it, or if he made you build it, and he told you what to do in the building process.
Some of the times it wasn't what they told us. It was just we already knew what to do.
All right, but the times when it was them telling you what to do, they get credit for building that, right?
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. That's why patents are a lot of the shit that's patented in white people's name right now that you saying that helped build America wasn't necessarily built by them.
So any race of people that have patents and stuff can get credit for building America.
Depending on what period of time you're talking about.
Even today, why not today? If I create something useful today, like the internet, for example, the internet is a part of what America is today. Like the people who came up with the patents. Let me just finish. The people that came up with the patents today for creating the internet, like, wouldn't they be part of the building of America as well?
Yes, everything is commerce. You know, America runs on commerce.
So anyone that has a patent, the same way you say y'all built it because you created all these patents, Black Americans aren't the only ones with patents. Every race in America has a patent for something. So wouldn't every race have...
I'm not disagreeing with you on that, but I'm talking about a specific point in time in history. I'm not talking about today and all that. I'm talking about what was already built and what was built back in those days. That's what I'm saying. At a point in time in history, we built a lot of the shit that's considered today to be useful, such as the toilet, such as the light bulb, such as all this shit is invented by Black people. The internet as well. African guy invented all that.
Yeah, I get that, but that doesn't take away from the fact that other people built other things during that time period as well.
But
During that time
what
period, there were white, like a
percentage?
black person may have invented the light bulb, but it was a white person that invented electricity. And if you're telling me the people that invented electricity wasn't going to invent,
That makes no sense. That's what I'm saying. That's what I just told you. A lot of us were okay if they made electricity. Obviously, we made the light bulb in order for it to work. But I'm saying like,
so why don't they get credit for building electricity as part of building the country? How come the person that created electricity gets no credit, but the person that created a light bulb gets all the credit for building the country?
I get your analogy, but the analogy you're making has no source backed upon it. So you can't say the white man created electricity. Electricity is in the human body, so you can't say anybody invented that in the first place.
Come on, man. Oh, okay, they invented the electricity that's outside of the human body. What do you mean white people didn't build it? So who invented the electricity? Isn't it Thomas Edison or something like? Don't they credit Thomas Edison with that? He invented the what?
The light bulb.
I thought you just said a black person invented the light bulb.
That's Thomas Edison.
Thomas Edison is a black man?
If you didn't know that, okay.
No, I didn't know that. You're going to have to source that as well.
Oh, no. Thomas Edison is not a black person, but the person that invented the light bulb was basically Thomas Edison stole the patent for it. So that's basically
he stole the patent.
Yeah.
Where you getting this from a black guy? So it was a black guy that invented. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
I mean,
look it up. Look it up on Google right now. I just looked it up.
Okay. Well, yeah, but you know, I'm still like, again, black people aren't the only ones with patents, right?
I get that, but when you listen, if I enslave you right now and you just so happen to invent a fucking rocket ship that could fly all the way across the fucking galaxy, and I own you as property, and I'd be like, well, that's mine now because you're my property. Just based off of you being my property, that's mine. Whatever you invent is mine. So there's no argument on who invented what.
So you're saying slaves were just free to go out and invent whatever they wanted to invent?
If it was good for the slave master, yeah, they let them do shit like that.
Okay, and the slave it wasn't the slave master that, like, what invention are you talking? Like during slavery time, what invention did black people come up with?
I just gave you during slavery.
Yeah,
it was plenty. Let me see. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I know it was plenty of them. I can't think of one on top of my head.
Yeah. So when would you say America was done being built?
It's still not done being built, obviously. The infrastructure sucks.
Right. So, and are you saying that it's still only black people that's doing the building, or do you think everybody that lives in America today is helping with the building?
I mean, the previously to what the infrastructure is right now, yeah, we built it.
I'm talking about given that it's still being built today, right?
Yeah, you talking about today?
Who's doing today? You said it. We agree. America is still being built today.
No, but you're using a fallacy. You're not telling me exactly. You telling me exactly what you want me to hear. I mean, what you want to hear.
No, I asked you. I said, do you think America is done being built? And you said no, it's still being built today. And I asked you, who's building it today?
But I just gave you an answer. I said the infrastructure known today was basically built on top. So like they're building on top.
But who's doing the building today? You said they're building on top of it. Who's doing the building?
The immigrants. They're doing the building.
Immigrants and Black Americans and everybody, right?
Yeah, because America is basically trying to find a cheap route to build shit. So, for instance, when it was slavery, we was building shit because it was basically getting done for free. Now they got the immigrants doing that at a lower price.
Hold on, Dex. There weren't. I just want to go one step at a time. Okay. So we agree that the building of America that's going on today is being done by everyone. No, now we're going back.
I said by immigrants. I never said by everyone.
So Black Americans aren't doing the building today?
I mean, let's be realistic. Yeah, everybody's playing a part in it, but for the majority of the part, yes, immigrants are the ones building America.
So you think immigrants are doing more of the building of America today than Black Americans are?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So you think immigrants are more foundational today than Black Americans are?
See, that's a fallacy. You just asked me a question. You asked me a question that had nothing to do with my answer.
What you mean? You said immigrants are doing more to build America today.
Yeah,
You
but you're
said the
using
reason the reason y'all say Black Americans are foundational is because y'all built America.
I never said
But if
anything
today,
about foundational. You said that. I answered your question. I said that for the majority, immigrants are building this today. Then you just came and said something else that was a fallacy. Do you know what a fallacy is? A fallacy is when you taking my initial answer and you're putting a 20 on the 10 and saying that I said something else, and that's not what I'm saying.
okay, then I'm having a hard time following what you're saying then, because you seem to be going back and forth a little bit.
I said, yeah, everybody plays a part in building America, but the majority of people who are building America today are the immigrants.
Okay, and you're saying back in the day during slavery time, the majority of the people were slaves
Exactly.
that were doing the building of America.
Yes, exactly.
So, but the minority people, the people that were just contractors and just regular people that were working a 9 to 5, the regular employees, like with the White House, for example, I would agree that there were some slaves working or helping. Let me finish. Let me finish. Like there were. Let me finish, Dex. Dex, let me finish. There were slaves helping to build the White House, but there were also just regular employees that were contracted to work and that were getting paid. So why aren't the minority of those people? Why don't they also get credit for building America? Why is it just the slaves that get credit just because they were the majority?
No, it's not because they were the majority necessarily. Just like in today, like I said, the immigrants are the majority, and they're the majority that's building it. I don't say that. I'm not going to sit here and say that they're the only ones building it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the majority. When you got large amount of numbers of people doing one specific task, and you got a group here and a group there, the majority of people gonna get the job done quicker. So and they're gonna play a large part in getting the job done overall. So so for the majority part of it, yes, America was built by Black
people. Okay, but today the majority is built by non-Black people.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
I mean, where do you live? You live in America, or?
Yeah. I live in America, absolutely.
Do you not see like all these immigrants like taking our jobs, our benefits, our resources, everything? Like you don't see this, or?
Well, I'm an immigrant. I'm Jamaican.
Okay, I'm not specifically talking about a Jamaican immigrant. I'm talking about the Latin immigrants. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, I think illegal immigration can be a strain on the economy. Sure, if that's what you mean. Yeah, I think it can be a strain on the economy. So yeah, I do see where they can take work away from Americans. But I don't see where they're taking more jobs away from Americans than the jobs that Americans are keeping.
You live in a different region than I am in, and I could kind of tell because basically, like, I live in California, so like we're what they would call a safe space for them or whatever. What do they call it? I forget the term, but basically, like, if you come to California, you could clearly see that they're taking all the resources, all the housing, everything. Like, it's literally Little Mexico in California. And like, basically they're taking the place of what people call the foundational Black American, which we built it previously to them, but they're just building on top of what we're building.
Okay. But if they're building America, what's the problem?
The problem, I just told you the problem. The problem is they're taking all the resources that we were, sitting on.
Like what type of resources? The jobs and stuff?
Yeah, because we're tax-paying citizens of the United States of America at the moment, So if we paying all these taxes and y'all taking all our resources, then we paying for y'all to be here, and y'all basically taking all the money, and you're working for money at a lower price, but you're still working for a capital, and you're taking all the resources, the housing, everything that a Black FBA would need, and they're capitalizing off of it while taking our money. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it reminds me of the argument that was used against slavery. I think because I think that's what the employed workers were saying against slaves, because they were saying slaves don't pay taxes either, right? But their slave masters would use them, and they would take over job sites with just this really cheap,
that's not a good
slave
comparison.
labor.
That's
Let
not
me
a
just
good
finish.
comparison.
Let me just finish. Like on job sites, slave masters would kind of monopolize the market by flooding the market with slave workers that were very cheap, and people who, white workers who were employed and were paid, they felt like their wages were being undermined by these slaves that were working for very cheap, not for free, because the slave masters had to get paid, but their fee was a lot cheaper. So the same way slaves were undercutting wages and taking jobs away from regular citizens back then is the same way that today it's kind of the same dynamics with immigrants, where immigrants are taking away work from citizens as well. And so if slaves did that and are considered foundational, why can't immigrants be considered foundational?
Okay. I know where you was going with it. Like, if I interrupt you, it's because I already know where you going with the situation, with the question. But I just wanted a yes or no question on this because I heard you say it. So you said that slaves had got paid for the work that they did. Am I
The
correct?
slave master. I said the slave masters got paid for the work that the slaves did. Whenever the slave master would rent them out to work on job sites. He would just rent out his slaves.
Okay. So I thought that's what you had said. So I heard you say an analogy on us being compared to the immigrant due to tax paying. Is that correct?
Yeah, because I said the slaves didn't pay taxes either.
Okay, so the reason why it's a lot different is because we were considered as their property. That's the difference. When you're considered property, you're not even considered to be a human being. I mean, you're not considered to even exist. You're a corporation. You're not physical, So that's what I mean by it's not the same thing as being compared to the immigrant. The immigrant could come over here and still get benefits from the state.
Well, the slave also got benefits from the slave master. The slave got his 3 meals. He
Yeah,
had
but that's not a
he
that's
had
not a
quarters
benefit.
that
That's
they
an
lived in.
investment. That's not a benefit. That's an investment. They had to invest in us to make sure we was okay to do free work. That's not a benefit. That's an investment.
Well, the companies today invest in these cheap immigrant labor. They see it as an investment as well. They're
But
investing
they're
in cheap
getting paid.
labor.
They're getting paid though. If they weren't getting paid, then I'd be
The
like,
slave master was getting paid, and the
I'm
slave
talking
master would use his payment to
the immigrant.
subsidize his slaves. Like he would buy food for them
You're
and
making an
make
analogy.
sure their medical bills were paid and stuff like that.
But listen, the immigrants are getting paid. If they weren't getting paid, then I'd be like, it's kind of similar, but they're getting paid. If they weren't getting paid, I'd be like, okay, now it's too similar. But they're getting paid. They're actually getting a benefit. That's a benefit. See what you're naming are liabilities. That's a liability.
Yeah, and okay, and so since they are if they are getting paid, okay. So doesn't that make them more foundational? The fact that they're getting paid, like they're paid labor. So I don't see why that makes them any less foundational.
Man, I don't know how to like change your mind about it, but being a slave, what you're naming are liabilities. A liability is I gotta feed this slave in order for him to do work for me. That's a liability. A benefit is I don't have to feed him. He could do the work all day for free. That's a benefit.
And who had that benefit?
Nobody. That's what I'm telling you. We never had that benefit. We were liabilities to them. If a slave died, he would lose money on that. That's a liability. That's not.
So the slaves were an asset.
Yeah,
so the slave was an asset.
It's property.
But property are assets.
That's what I'm telling you. I'm agreeing with you on that.
Okay.
So
I think we're agreeing.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. When you're a property, but it's still a liability in a sense too. Assets and liabilities go hand in hand also.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the most important thing that I heard you say so far is that you think today immigrants are more foundational than Black Americans.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I said the FBA movement is kind of used in a different way for the wrong thing.
So do you agree with the crackdown on immigration, or do you think that immigrants, legal or illegal, we should have an open border?
I'm 50. No, I'm gonna say I'm 10%. I'm 10% off of it, and I'm 90% with it.
10% you think? 10% of you thinks we should have an open border?
No, that's not what see a fallacy, but I'm not saying that specific. The reason why I'm gonna tell you the reason why I said that is because America basically took their land. If you the Latin American people land, which would be the ancient people or whatever. This is all their shit. On this side where I'm at, they took their land. So I feel like if they want to come over here illegally and they are able to come here illegally, then so be it. I don't give a fuck. To be honest, not like that. I don't really give a fuck because at the end of the day, I know I'm gonna eat on my own. You feel me? But
you talking about? But didn't the Mexicans take the land from someone else?
Hold on. And then the reason why I said 90% is because that I'm with it is because like it would make my living situation in my immediate area a lot better in a sense. So I wouldn't have to fend for myself, or I wouldn't have to do none of these things. But right is right and wrong is wrong is why I'm 10% on board. Like if you take something from somebody and they take it right back, then oh well, so be it.
Yeah.
If you come to California right now, everything is Mexico, and it is like the city name San Francisco, that's Mexican. San Jose, San Bernardino, Los Angeles, all this shit is their territory. So we just took it.
Yeah, so you think we should just allow them to take it back?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I really don't. I got a motherland. It's not my motherland. I can give a fuck.
But I thought you just said your ancestors built it.
They did.
Your ancestors built it. How you just gonna let them come and just take it like that?
But listen, that's not where my mind is. My mind is we came over. We were forced over here and we were forced to build this shit. We wasn't trying to build this shit on our own. That's the thing. And we were by way of slavery. So I can give a fuck about what they do if they take it back. Every great nation falls. And America is only how many years old? Like 400, 500 years old. So look at the ancient Kemet. You know, that shit was 2,000 years old and it failed. So every great nation gonna fall, but it just within time, certain time frame would America fall.
All right, Dex. I'm trying to get a grip on exactly what your position is, but it's slippery. You hold like a really slippery position. It's hard to really grasp exactly what your position is on any certain topic.
Like, I'm not for it and I'm not against it. That's basically what I'm saying. Like, I'm not for it and I'm not against it. Like,
Yeah.
Like, I'm not for nobody just getting kidnapped, because that kind of, you feel me, like, remind us of how we got kidnapped. So it's like that 10% be like, nah, you know, but this not none of our business for real. It's between the white man and them. So I mean, like, we focus on us, and that's how it should be.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, listen, Dex, I'm gonna go spend some time with my family. I've been on for over 2 hours. So I'm gonna spend a little bit of time with my fam, see what they're up to. Thanks for hitting that link though. You're the only brave soul for the day. That's what's up. Bless you for doing so.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, man. Respect. I'm gonna catch you next time.
I want you to listen very, very carefully.
Tell the youth them for be strong. You can't tell the youth them for preach wrongs. While you try it on these lands, just remember every man is equal. Yeah, each one teach one. And our Father God, him are the only done. So make we ease and reason. Smoke trees, span the ends, all the deep meds. Take a look at life and don't close your eyes. Sometimes things happen and it's no surprise. And I just, so it go, so it go, so it go, so it go. It's a government, no have no heart, them no care about poor people. Yeah, bigger heads no love people again. Them more than little of them. Me see friends now reason again. Vex through whistle a blame. What time it hurt me to see how the face deal with the eagle of them. Regular me see it happen. Regular me see it happen. Take a look at life and don't close your eyes. Sometimes things happen and it's no surprise. And I just, so it go, so it go, so it go, so it go. It's a government, no have no heart, them no care about poor people. Social commentary. Drop the one, your principle, you don't know. The global will come and do it. Some people life every day, it's stress. The high price from JPS, that topic is currently. Jah alone, him a go help you. We need food and we no healthy. We are feel the pain, beg you protect we. In our life we have no fanfare. Take a look at life and don't close your eyes. Sometimes things happen and it's no surprise. And I just, so it go, so it go, so it go, so it go. It's a government, no have no heart, them no care about poor people.
Very carefully.
It's all about life in the street. People are suffer, try survive in the heat. Bad mind them up to one hygiene a tweet. That's why enough of them get rifle a beat. Everybody want big ups and want to drive in a Jeep. Every day I'm at the ball when she bike in a read. Not even 5 days, we can't find for the week. Me no see no changes, the same cycle repeat. Give thanks cause life it's a sweet, but keep a eye open every time you go sleep. Cause mankind jealous and them idle go live. Them never yet plant and not try figure it. Bigger heads where you fight for the seed. Now care about the future nor the child where you creep. Them a pray the fat Kyle we submit. The system will slide where you fit.
In the streets where we born and grow, only Jah know and nobody know.
When we talk about ghetto life, talk about ghetto life.
Everybody a priest said them want it low. That's why them a speed and they on the go.
Cause this a real ghetto life. This a real ghetto life. Yeah. Everybody just a pre-success. When me looking at the street, you me see enough stress. Them all a fight for who reach up next. Everybody want floss and a beat up chest. Juvenile in a them teen love sex. Them a breed the fast money, them no need subjects. And if you're unfortunate, please don't vex. Also the things said cause the streets don't rest.
In the streets where we born and grow, only Jah know and nobody know.
When we talk about ghetto life, talk about ghetto life.
Everybody a priest said them want it low. That's why them a speed and they on the go.
Cause this a real ghetto life. This a real ghetto life. Yeah. It's all about life in the street. People are suffer, try survive in the heat. Bad mind them up to one, hygiene a do it. That's why enough of them, rifle a beat. Everybody want the guns and want to drive in a Jeep. Every day I'm at the ball when she buy in a read. Not even 5 wheels, we can't find for the week. Me no see no changes, the same cycle repeat. Give thanks cause life it's a sweet, but keep a eye open every time you go sleep. Cause mankind jealous and them idle go live. Them never yet plant and not try figure rape. Bigger heads where you fight for the seed. Now care about the future nor the child where you creep. Them a pray the fat Kyle we submit. The system will slide where you fit.
In the streets where we born and grow, only Jah know and nobody know.
When we talk about ghetto life, talk about ghetto life.
Everybody a priest said them want it low. That's why them a speed and they on the go.
Cause this a real ghetto life. This a real ghetto life. Yeah.